What's cracking, guys? Welcome to yet again another episode of the Honda Recap. If you've been a follower for a very long time, this might be something kind of similar to you, because when I first started the recap, it was just me, you, and a camera recording this live kind of the day before, where I basically just sat here, talked about Hondas, talked about the community, and talked about what's been going on. If you haven't been tuning in, definitely do this Monday night, 8 p.m. Hit the recaps, hit the subscribe button, smash that like button for me. Let everybody know what's going on below in the comments below as we go over everything that's going on in the Honda universe for the past week into one cool video so we can all hang out, talk Hondas, talk the community, and just hang out. But if you haven't been following along, I'll let you know right now, my laptop did go out. I haven't been able to actually edit any videos or do any of the crazy production stuff that I really love to do, but I do love you guys, I love the community, and I love sitting here and actually talking to you. So I wanted to keep the trend going, I wanted to keep this train rolling, and so we're gonna keep it going. You, me, we're gonna sit here, we're just gonna talk just like the old times, just like before everything went big. So let's go ahead and jump right into this, and I wanna kick this off with Shades Wade. Definitely has a new DC5. I'm really proud of the guy. He hasn't given up. Been doing a lot of cool stuff. He actually got himself a brand new, well, not brand new to him, blue DC5 that he's planning on actually, I think, Type R swapping, K20A swapping with the trans, and basically taking all the bolt-ons that he used to have on his silver DC5 and putting it on this one. He's got a long road ahead of him. If you've been following a lot of his live streams or a lot of his other videos, you know that when he got the car, it kind of had some issues. He's trying to work through those, but you know what? He's not going to stop. He's still moving forward. And you know what? It's been a long, long drive since actually he lost his car in the flood to getting a new car, having a bunch of bolt-ons, and his actual plans to move forward. So definitely check out the Shades Wade channel. Keep up with him so you actually know what's going on. Following that, we got DeadBeatGarage with the Phoenix Yellow DC2. Legitimate Type R. He's doing an awesome rebuild. He's also been doing a lot of podcasts once a night. Usually it's Sunday night, and then a few streams in the garage every now and then. It's actually really fun to watch if you haven't done that before. You get to hear a little more insight about him. He chats with the people in the comments as he's doing it, and you just kind of hear the philosophy's sake of a guy, of a family man, building his car, doing all that cool stuff, and he drops some wisdom on you guys, and just kind of, you know, it's a great podcast. I really enjoy it. I actually hope to sit down hopefully next week with him and actually have a really cool conversation over on his channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be fun. The Type R is coming together. The full suspension is getting completely rebuilt. He bought it from a guy who had some rust on it, so he's dealing with a lot of things that happen when you get a car that has a lot of rust. Not stopping him. Awesome channel, awesome guy, and the car is going to turn out fantastic. Following that, we got Irven Dorsey. This guy's out there on the East Coast. He got his B Series finally built, put together, and actually in the car. So props to you, man. I know you're doing everything possible to buy good parts so everything actually bolts in correctly. Car is going to turn out great. I'm not sure if you're going to go about repainting it or what the final steps are there, but either way, the car looks good as is, and I know it's going to turn out great. Following that, we got High Beam's Crew. Beautiful FA5, getting some new looks on it on the exterior. I think he's got a new lip. Definitely check that guy out. The FA5 is looking crazy, dude. I love it. It's super, it's simple, and it's coming together. Following that, we got MT Garage. These guys, I think you guys are out in Canada. I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm wrong there, but they've got a bunch of cool cars. It's a cool group of guys. Some of them are into like autocross, drifting, and tracking. I think Matt's out there in an H22 EK hatch called Frankenstein. It's actually a really cool build. He did a lot to it, pulled the motor, fixed a lot of things too. I think he had some rust issues he also had to deal with, so didn't stop him, kept rolling through it. I love H22s, man. They're so cool. I'm really happy that you have one in your EK. I love all the track footage that you're putting out with that. All right, following that, we got Dashin' Cars with this super awesome wagon meet. I love all the wagon content, man. I'm super happy that you took it apart, getting everything fixed, rebuilding it the way you really want to make it. It's awesome. I can't get enough of the wagon, man. I know out there John Woodmer's loving it too, because he's also a hardcore EF guy and a wagon guy. So props to you, man. Keep that content rolling. Another guy out there in the UK, and that is Twin 2-Cam Garage. This guy I found a very, very long time ago. Basically put in an ITR motor in his EF hatch. It's been a long time coming. In this latest video, he actually showed you what he's doing for the steering rack to get everything put together in the car. This project's been going on for a very long time, but if you watch every video, it's extremely detailed, really cool guy, explains everything, and when the car is finally done, it's gonna be amazing. I really love the videos this guy's been putting out because as it's going out, like I said, everything is incredibly detailed, and the project has blown to a large proportion where everything in the car is literally getting touched, and that's super awesome because you're gonna be very proud of the end result when you finally get there. Next up, we got another H22, but this one is in a Prelude where that engine actually came from, and we got Trey Be Dipping. This guy is really cool. In his latest videos, he actually showed you how to deal when your IAC-V actually starts going out, where you're dealing with the weird idle issue, you know, on the intake manifold. So he shows you kind of how to deal with that. In his latest video, he actually puts the Turbo H22 Prelude on the dyno, so definitely check out that channel if you're interested in seeing what the Prelude did out there on the dyno. All right, next up, another guy out there in the UK. I've really been looking for you UK guys, and I actually talked to this guy quite some time ago. I'm super sorry I haven't gotten you onto the recap before, but it's definitely an awesome build, and that is Paul over at JPR2two2. This is a really awesome channel and build. I really hope everyone can actually go over there, give him some love, give him some subscriptions. It's an EK9, it's yellow with a B18 C4, and it's got a touching story behind it. I don't want to get in too much, but it's basically a memorial build for Josh himself. Definitely check out one of the first videos. He gives a good explanation as to why he's doing it. Like I said, it's a very touching story. It's definitely worth some love. Go out there and check the channel out, guys. And that is JPR222. Following that, we got the PGH Production. These guys are literally out there messing with a K20A2. I think it's going into an RSX. Sorry if I'm wrong. I kind of saw some headlights in the back there, you know what I mean? But if I'm wrong, definitely let me know in the comments down below. This video was really fun to watch because you basically saw somebody have to suffer taking that crank bolt off. And if you've ever been there, you totally understand everything he had to go with, putting all his weight into something just to have the bolts, not the bolt, but the actual socket snap. And you're just like, well, this is gonna be a problem, you know what I mean? So I'm really proud of you guys. You didn't quit, you kept it going, and you finally got that bolt off, and that's awesome. I can't wait to see the teardown actually get finished up. Keep going, guys. All right, I basically want to address a lot of things that you guys have talked about, talking more about new people, and that's something I definitely want to talk about in the future. So I wanted to basically start out with those guys, so that way you kind of knew the new guys that are out there putting out content, building cars that you may not have seen before. I basically wanted to get those guys in front of you guys before we got started. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into some of the other channels that I've talked about in the past to kind of give a quick update on what's going on. And to kick it off, I'm going to start out with Josh. Christina is finally down again. I don't mean to say finally, but man, it was almost up and now it's down. I don't even know what's going on anymore, but that doesn't stop Zosh. Luckily, he's got the Ruckus, and he can definitely build the Ruckus on the side because there's always revolving door content for that. So with the good guys out there at the Ruck Shop helping him out, getting him parts, so he was able to actually build the Ruckus to match Christina even down to the paint. Super awesome content, man. I can't wait till it's actually done. Next up, we got Justin over at 79th Production. Finally got all the missing parts that he's needed, got the car all back together, painted blue. Car is literally coming together, man. I can't believe how fast you made it happen. You're still putting out content no matter all the problems that you've had to deal with in the past. Props to you, dude. You're an awesome guy. Thanks for joining my live stream a couple days ago. It was really cool to talk to you. Really great to see the update video that you actually just released. Your car is looking amazing. Following that, we got Young Static. We've talked about this so much in the past that as soon as he hit 20K, he was gonna boost the H22 that was in his CRX. He wanted to see how far he could actually get it at the drag strip NA, but the last time we went to the track, things started happening. He wasn't actually able to run it, so we said, you know what, screw it, let's do it. He made a cool video talking about manifolds, about turbos, oil feed lines, and he actually wants to break down all the things that he's gonna do in little chunks and little segments so he can actually give his 2 cents of what he thinks about each part of it. So you actually see the build process happen over time instead of him just throwing it all together. And we all know he could easily just throw it all together if he really wanted. So he definitely wants to break it down, do it right, and actually show you how to do it with a little bit more of a knowledge that he has. So props to you, man. Super awesome you hit 20K, and I can't wait to see what times you put down once that turbo is actually running. All right, following that, we got Chris Sadowski with the Del Sol. As long as I've known he's had the Del Sol, he's had a rattle in his top. It's definitely something that all Del Sol owners have to deal with, but happy to report he fixed that. It's doing well. He's out there, even in the DA, just taking it for rips, going down canyon runs and having a blast. I think he's actually getting things together because he wants to take the DA out on an autocross course. That's super awesome. I definitely push everybody to try to get out to the track or to the autocross to really learn your car, because if you're out there on the street trying to do some funny stuff, you don't know your car like you will after you go to the track or autocross. So definitely try to do that at least a few times with your car. All right, next up we got Hunter Tuned. It definitely has a new car and he's having a lot of fun with it. I think he actually mentioned now that he has this new car, he wants to sell the Mustang because that's definitely going to push him to the next level, which is going to allow him to actually get that dyno and make Hunter Tuned put all the tunes that he's been putting down concrete to the wheels and see what numbers he's actually producing with the butt dyno and seeing what exactly is going on. So props to you, man. Super happy that you took a break. You're back with videos and you have a new car and it looks super awesome. All right, next up we got Big Murph LSV Tech in the Integra on its way. Engine out of the hatch, getting ready for a B20V. This guy's definitely putting in work as well. You basically see the beginning of most videos, the guy just got off work, going and hanging out with friends. Doesn't stop him. Let's make a video, give some updates. Props to you, man. I can't wait to see what you do with the EG. I know you're gonna put a B20V in there. As soon as that's done, you got some goodies from Static, helped you kind of move around, things like that. So keep pushing forward. It's gonna be great. Once that EG is done, you're gonna move on to the Integra. I know you've already talked about that in the past. I can't wait. All right, speaking of B20Vs, we've got DeadBeatGarage. Finally has the whole motor back together. Got a lot of help out there from S&S Machining, I think out there in Arizona. Obviously Arizona, I think it was S&S Machining, but it actually helped him put everything together, everything in spec. He got the motor home. I think it's roughly around 13-to-1, which is pretty high compression, and it's gonna be an awesome build with a B20V. That hatch, the khaki Civic, is definitely gonna love that car. You're gonna have tons of fun with it, and everybody knows that even once that motor's done, you have the ITR motor on the side, which is, you know, I mean, who doesn't want that, right? So it's gonna be a really awesome build to see what you do there, but I'm more excited about the B20V that you're gonna put in the khaki Civic. I think once you get that compression dialed in, you get it on the dyno, it's gonna be so much fun. All the work that you've done in the fenders and the wing in the back, it's all just gonna come together into one perfect hatch. All right, guys, and to wrap this up, we got Garage Built Honda's Jod Widmer out there in Texas showing you how he actually makes custom rails for all the seats that he puts into cars. I know I actually personally reached out to him a couple months back because I have some ITR Recaros that I would love to put into an EF hatch, kind of picking his brain as to how he actually gets those in the car. And I'm super happy that he made this video where he basically sat down, took some Prelude seats that he's had, put them in the hatch, and showed you how he makes the stock rails fit in the car without doing too much modification. Well, you actually have to do some modification. There's some welding that he wanted to do, but he wants to retain the stock rails that come with the seats and make them fit in the EF. That way you have OEM rails on the seats. You don't have any weirdness there, but he showed you step by step how he goes about it, how he welds, how he takes all his measurements, and that's really awesome because a lot of people don't really want the EF seats that they get in the car because for a 25, 30-year-old car, the bolsters start going out and they're not so great anymore. So if you can get a cheap set of seats and you want to put them in there to keep your car fresh, this is definitely a video for you to check out. All right, guys, that about wraps it up for this week's of the Honda Recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a little more one-on-one with you. I actually enjoy this a lot more because I get to just interact with you directly without everything else. I definitely will have everybody's information in the description below, so definitely check out some of the channels I talked about at the very beginning of this video. Go over there, give them a video, give them a subscribe if you aren't following them already. Let them know Honda Vlogs sent you. Head over to www.hondavlogs.com/shop. Pick yourself up a shirt. It definitely helps. It definitely helps the channel. Definitely builds the community as best I can because I can put it back into this to keep the community growing, to keep the channel growing. And thank you again for joining another week of the Honda Recap, guys. I will see you next week. Peace.